Jordana and I love Jordana. Like, I've known her since she was 19 years old. Like, you know, it's like I love her. Like, I would die for her in a heartbeat, you know. And to, like, be sitting there with her, I mean, you know, it's like, well, here we are after all this time, you know. Now we're pretending like we got a baby. Like, this is a trip. But it feels, everything feels so natural and just fluid, you know. And then Vin coming up and, you know, playing Uncle Dom, it's like, we do that in our real life, you know. I do it with his kids. He does it with my daughter. The thing that's cool about Hobbs is that Hobbs really is a pretty honorable guy. And, you know, he wants to do the best job that he can, but more than that, he wants to just bust the bad guys. You know, he's a cop for the right reasons. You know, he sure as hell doesn't want to write tickets. He doesn't want to enforce the law. He wants to exercise justice, you know. And he knows that Brian and Dom they live basically by the same code. They just want to see right done. And especially with the stakes now, with Letty being involved, come on. So long as they can separate the emotion, he knows they're going to be the best team-wise for him. Because nobody else is going to be able to react or step up or handle things the way that they do. It's about, hey, look, you know what, let's come in and let's make the best movie we possibly can. Let's make the fight sequence really dynamic. And the only way you're going to get to do that is just rehearse, and it becomes muscle memory. And then if somebody missteps, it's not a big deal. You get to a point to where the dance becomes so fluid and you're moving together that if a guy missteps and instead of throwing a left hand, throws a right cross, you can sidestep it and it becomes part of it. It's just organic. And that happened a lot of times on this one. And I love seeing that. But it only happens when you're working with a team of guys that are really professional, that come prepared and know what's up. And as a result, you know, Sung got to go in there and knock it out. Tyrese got to go in there and throw some punches. You know, Michelle's fight sequences just kick ass. The stuff with Dwayne and Vin and Kim, I mean, it's so over the top, just brawl fest. It makes the WWF and WWE look like romper room, you know? It's like sorry, there, Dwayne. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Kim and I were trying to sell this lamb, and they wanted to bring the cable, and I said, bro, if you just grab me around the neck. He's like, how much do you weigh? I'm like, I'm about 190 pounds. He's like, what is that in kilos? So we do the conversion real quick, and he's like, oh, I could pick you up with one arm. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you can. So I said, you know what, just grab me around the throat, man, and I'll hold on to your hand with both arms and just pick me up and chuck me on the car. And Vincent was there, and he's like, you could do that? And I'm like, yeah, come on, Vincent. How long have you been doing this now? And he's like, all right. So just boom, just slam me a couple times, boom. And I remember there's a couple of times where I came down a little too heavy in the head, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I made sure I kept my chin tucked, you know. But that guy just launched me. But I had a headache for probably about an hour and a half after that. You know? But that's the fun stuff, you know. When you do it for real is when it looks the best. It's the same with driving. It's the same with anything in the movie business, you know. It's like, it's why it's so nice when Justin's like, oh, we're going to get away from the green screen stuff. We're going to do it practical. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It looks a million times better. Sometimes you have to do it for real. You got to, you know. And if you're making action movies, and I've seen it with guys every once in a while, and they're a little squeamish about this or doing that, I'm like, bro, sorry, you got the wrong job, man. We're making an action movie here. Maybe you should think twice before you sign on to doing one of these, you know. It's like, did you know what this was? You know, everybody wants to look cool, but sometimes you gotta take the licks in order to look it. So there you go.